Welcome to the Rise to Shine podcast with Noelle Custis, where we ignite the spark to discover your favorite self. It is time to get real, ladies. Welcome, friends, to another episode of the Rise to Shine podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Custis. All right, everyone, get ready for another thought-provoking episode. But before we get started, I wanted to talk reviews. Reviews are like the magic beans of the podcast world. They help our show grow and reach new listeners. So, to express my deepest gratitude for your support, I am giving away a delicious coffee or tea on me, your choice, to one lucky reviewer on each solo episode throughout the summer. All you have to do is leave a review for the show on your favorite podcast platform, and you'll be entered to win. Plus, you might even get a shout out. Today's lucky winner is Golf's My Game, who writes, as a woman, I feel we always need to be uplifting and empowering each other. We are such emotional creatures, and sometimes we lose our focus on the positive and easily get dragged into the negative. Well, I have found the perfect uplifting podcast made just for us. Please check it out. Enjoy, and you are welcome. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to write this review, and most importantly, for being one of our listeners. I am so honored to step into this podcasting world, and I'm even more honored to spread a little love and light into the world. So please make sure Golf's My Game, if that's you, make sure that you reach out on a DM, or you can head over to my Facebook and leave a message. You'll find all of those links in the show notes, and I cannot wait to treat you. So congratulations, and thank you so much again. Well, ladies, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something that is really close to my heart, and that is aging gracefully. Now, before you tune out thinking it's all about the wrinkles and defying time, hold on and hear me out. If most of you are being honest, I would imagine that graceful doesn't always describe how we may feel about getting older, right? However, I want to assure you that aging gracefully is about so much more than wrinkles. It's a mindset shift. It's really going to be more about a celebration of life's journey and a chance to embrace who you are becoming. As a transformational coach for women, I see this and hear this all the time. I see and feel the fear, the self-doubt that creeps in as we age. And even amongst my friends, this is a topic that we are always discussing. How are we living out our lives? What are we doing? What are our aches and pains? What's the newest and latest way that we can work out that doesn't hurt our bodies? All of those conversations are being had amongst women, especially those that are in midlife. Now, you may even, if you are younger, be having this conversation because you're wondering what that looks like. As a matter of fact, I laugh because my daughter, who is all of 22, she has often made comments going, "Oh, I have to go through that? Oh gosh, mom, seriously." How many of us hear that? Or maybe we had those thoughts when we were a little younger as well. We're thinking, man, what is this going to look like? What is this going to feel like? But today, we're going to talk about why aging gracefully is actually a gift and not a curse. So let's get real. I've been there. In my 20s, in my 30s, I was all about keeping up with appearances. So, chasing an image of what I thought should be, right? As a matter of fact, I know I talked about this on the episode with Casey Weiss, and we were talking about how, you know, we can look back and see things in hindsight and go, man, back then I thought I didn't add up. I thought I wasn't enough. I thought I wasn't thin enough, or I didn't look pretty enough, and what we would do to be in those shoes now. That's often the sentiment that I hear. But after listening to that podcast, for those of you that haven't listened to it, you're going to want to go back and listen to it. It was so good, but it really gave us some revelation about that. And I really just want to tell you that, like many of you, I spent a good portion of my life chasing that elusive ideal of youth. And society is always throwing messages at us. And this was before even social media. We would hear it within society. We would watch it on television shows. We would see it around us. We would hear our parents or grandparents talking about us. But now with social media, it's even more profound. And the messages that we're getting is that wrinkles are bad, your prime is disappearing, and anything past a certain age is somehow less than. And I put that in air quotes. If you had less than boundless energy, it somehow felt like a personal failure. So, as I started to mature, something began to shift within me, and I started to see and notice the incredible gifts with aging. As a matter of fact, in my 40s, something super amazing happened. My body started to change. Now, some of you might be freaking out that I just said that. And yes, there may have been a little bit less of a bounce in my step, or maybe there were a creak or two here and there. That was honestly happening way before my 40s, but it may have progressed a little bit more in my 40s. But along with that came this beautiful transformation. I realized that the number on my driver's license didn't define who I was. Because here's the thing, I still felt young at heart with a lifetime of experiences under my belt. I had those experiences, the good and the bad. And I know that this shapes who we are, right? They give us a depth, a wisdom that we can't get any other way. But I'm not naive. And I know that fear creeps in. We start questioning our mortality and wondering about health, maybe even feeling a little lost in this new chapter. Even as a transformational coach, I see this struggle with aging play out in so many of my clients. They worry about losing their looks, their confidence, their place in the world. But here's the thing, aging gracefully isn't about fighting the inevitable. It's about embracing the journey with open arms. And here's the thing, those challenges that we experience, they're just part of the process. They push us to appreciate each day to truly live life to the fullest. And what I've started to do is I've started to really remind myself that we get to wake up every morning a little older, but a lot wiser. Aging gracefully isn't about chasing the youth. It's about embracing the wisdom, the strength, and the resilience that comes with experience. As a matter of fact, I recently just heard the actress Cameron Diaz. You may be familiar with her, I'm sure you are. And she was talking about this in an interview. And she talked about how she doesn't want to wake up each morning feeling the same. She actually wants to wake up feeling different and older and wiser. She defined that as being the actual beauty. That is what beauty is in her eyes. And I loved being reminded of that because it's so true. And ladies, I will say, I have no idea if she gets Botox, but I will say that I could actually see wrinkles in her forehead moving as she talked. And please hear me out. I am throwing no shade at Botox whatsoever. Seriously. I may be there one day myself. So I'm not throwing shade, ladies, but I must say it was refreshing to see a Hollywood actress showing up that way. I mean, we all know the pressures that we feel in our own everyday lives. I can't even imagine what it feels like in that Hollywood scene. I mean, let's be real. Hollywood, talking about media and social media, Hollywood paints a very specific picture of aging. Actresses who are defying time, the pressure to maintain this youthful appearance. And then social media adds this other layer with feeds overflowing with filtered protection and perfection. And it's easy to fall into that comparison trap, feeling like we're not measuring up. But here's the thing. There is no shame in wanting to look and feel our best. We all have those days where we want to put on that fabulous outfit or we want to get our hair done. We want to rock the bright pink lipstick or the bright red bold lipstick or even get that Botox or in my case, and I have no shame in this, getting those eyelash extensions that make me feel like $1,000,000 and feel confident stepping out the door. But here's the key. The key is not letting, and I want you to hear me out here, not letting unrealistic expectations or external validation define us. There's a difference between taking care of ourselves and feeling pressured to conform to a narrow definition of beauty. So there's a difference. We can still be aging gracefully and feeling our best and feeling confident as long as we do our best to not have these unrealistic expectations or validations that define us. Because here's the thing, aging gracefully is about showing up as our favorite selves at this very moment. We get to define what showing up as our favorite selves actually means. Whether that's, again, rocking that bold haircut or embracing the natural gray in our hair. I have not done that yet completely because you know why? I love having blonde hair. This isn't my natural color, but I feel my best in that color. Now, my mom, on the other hand, rocks the gray hair. She's like, you know what? I've done the blonde. I've done it all. I've been going like crazy and I loved it at the time, but I'm now in a season where I actually feel good rocking my beautiful natural gray hair. And she looks gorgeous. So it's really about feeling confident and comfortable in our own skin. And it's also about celebrating who we are at this very stage of life. And then also remembering that we can take inspiration from these women without feeling pressured to replicate them. Our journey is our own, and it's beautiful and unique in its own way. If you think about it this way, would you rather be a copy of someone else or the most authentic version of yourself? Aging gracefully allows us to embrace our individuality and radiate confidence from the inside out. I mean, how many of you get complimented of how you just shine or how you glow? And maybe in your mind, you're thinking, really? But what other people are seeing is that we are embodying our true selves. And again, I especially say this in midlife that we start to embrace our true selves. And it's not about the number on the scale anymore, or it doesn't have to be, because there's so much more beauty within you. So let's unpack this just a little bit together today. Wisdom is earned. I'm going to keep going back to that because I want this to be more about our internal beauty and how that radiates on the outside as opposed to just the physical beauty, right? I mean, life throws a lot at us. And with each experience, we gain valuable knowledge. We learn from our mistakes and our successes, becoming better equipped to navigate life's challenges. And then guess what happens? That confidence starts to blossom. We shed the insecurities of our younger years and we start to embrace who we truly are. We stop caring so much about what others think and we start prioritizing our happiness and well being. And then this newfound confidence allows us to shine even brighter than before. And that's what people start to notice. And that's what we start to notice. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll tell you what, I feel more beautiful in a day showing up as my favorite self, whether I have a messy bun on and no makeup. I feel more beautiful when I'm having a great day in which I am doing the things that I love and I'm living in my purpose and I'm full of gratitude going, man, I got to wake up today. I get another day on this earth to be a mom, to be a wife, to do what I love. I get to do that because it really is a privilege. And again, I realize that aging isn't all sunshine and roses. Challenges are opportunities. Those aches and pains, reminders to prioritize our health. The fear of the future, well, that's an invitation to live each day to the fullest. If we embrace these challenges as opportunities for growth and self-discovery, instead of dwelling on what we might lose, let's focus on what we actually gain. So, how do we actually embrace this gift of aging gracefully? Well, this is your time to grab your journal or take some mental notes, or you can just simply come back to this part in the episode later, because this is where I get to give you a few tips on the how. Like the real Noelle saying, how do you even do that? Of course, in my programs, we go so much more in depth, but here are just a few points that I would love to touch on with you today. Number one, Stop comparing yourself to others. We're never going to be that person. You are uniquely and beautifully made. Because when we start to compare ourselves to others, this is a recipe for misery, my friends. So focus on what makes you unique and wonderful. In that gratitude every day, write down what are some of the things that you love about yourself. I know when I'm having a bad day and I'm starting to feel down on myself, I will literally write in my gratitude that I love my blue eyes, that I love my hair. I will literally go down to the simplest things and talk about how I actually love that I have bigger nail beds because even when my nails are short, they don't look super short. I mean, it's things like that that sometimes we have to do to rewire our brains and focus on the beauty of the things that we have that are beautiful. Number 2, nurture your passions. What lights you up? Make time for those things that bring you joy. I know I say this all the time, but when you're nurturing your passions, you're like a flicker of light, not only to the immediate people around you, but to the world around you. They see that. They feel that from you. I mean, think about it. When you're doing something that you love, tell me you're not smiling more. Tell me you're not laughing more. You light up when you're doing that. Number 3, invest in your health. Eat those nourishing foods and move your body. Prioritize your sleep because I promise you, your future is going to thank you. And let me tell you, I fought this. I fought this a lot. But now that I am regaining and investing in my health, and I'm finding the ways that I can do it that still continue to light me up, I'm finding the joy in it. I'm finding that my body doesn't ache as much. I'm finding some really, really beautiful things that are happening as an outcome of me investing in my health. And that doesn't mean that you have to go all out tomorrow. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. Number 4, surround yourself with positive people. We are the company that we keep. Choose people who uplift and inspire you. You guys, I was just having this conversation as a friend sat in my living room expressing to me what she's going through in regards to a friendship situation. And we had a really deep conversation about this because we talked about that it's okay that some people are just meant to be part of a season in your life if you are with them and you don't feel good after being with them or while you're with them. It's okay to let those things go. Find your people. Find your people that you are around because we then become the company that we keep. It's so important, and especially as we're aging gracefully, we start to notice these things. We're not fighting for the friendships that are toxic anymore. I could go on and on. Maybe I need to do a whole episode about that. I think I do. I love when I'm in the middle of an episode and I can then go, wow, this is feeling like it could be a whole episode. All right, moving on. The next one. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Seriously. Life's a journey and aging is a beautiful part of it. I mean, have those fun conversations with your friends, with your husband, with your spouse, with your, with your kiddos. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Maybe you're trying to reach a health goal, or, here's a perfect example. So I was taking a class not too long ago, and our instructor was like, we were on a reformer. I was doing a Pilates class, and we were on this reformer, and he's like, now we're going to do this. And he basically did like this plank that was up in the air on a reformer that actually moves. I don't know if you're familiar with how these work, but you had to hold on with all of your might and use this upper body strength. And I am not kidding when I tell you, I looked at this and I literally just laughed out loud. When he showed us, I just laughed. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try. And if I can't, guess what? I'm going to try it again another time. But I was able to laugh at myself. And guess what? I flippin' did it. I was able to do it. He was so excited. He even got the camera out and filmed me so I could prove to my husband, like, these are the things I'm doing now. I never would have been able to do that a year ago. I never even imagined doing that a year ago. But afterwards, when I got down, the video just makes me smile. And I know I'll continue to look at that throughout my days because everybody was cheering me on. And I was able to laugh at myself and go, oh my gosh, I never thought I was going to be able to do that. It was so awesome. Also, I want you to think about shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over our wrinkles, celebrate them as the wisdom that's etched in your face. Someone told me that a long time ago, and I've never forgotten it because they shared with me that every line tells a story, a testament. Gosh, I'm getting all choked up. Woo! A testament to a life well lived. That's what those are. I'm thinking about my mom and my grandma, and I'm even thinking about myself, and I'm thinking, wow, what a beautiful way to look at our wrinkles. I mean, I am sure you look at your mom or your grandma if you're lucky enough to still have them in your life, or even to look back on pictures. And I would bet $1 million that you think they are beautiful, wrinkles and all, because you know that that was their life being lived out. Whew. Gosh, I didn't expect to get all choked up on that. The next one, embrace your strengths. As you age, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your values and what truly matters. Leverage this self-awareness to build on your strengths and to pursue your passions. Because this is what it's all about. And last, don't fear change. Change is going to be a constant in our life, and aging is going to be no exception. Embrace those new experiences, learn new skills, and keep your mind sharp. Both of my grandmothers have said that over and over again, that they believe that their mind stayed sharp because they played those crossword puzzles. They did the word searches. Now I'm into Wordle and into these New York Times. I think it's New York Times games, right? I love them. It keeps my mind sharp. And then just remember, aging gracefully is about celebrating who you are right now in this present moment. It's about self-love, self-acceptance, and radiating confidence from the inside out. And that's what I want for all of you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on aging gracefully? What are maybe some tips and tricks that you've learned along your journey? And please make sure that you share your stories in the comments, again, in any review if this episode resonated with you, or tag me on social media. And let's just create a community of women who support and empower each other as we embrace this beautiful chapter in our lives. Because we deserve this. Wake up tomorrow morning with breath in your lungs. Your eyes get to open, your feet get to hit the floor, and say to yourself, I get to do another day. I get to do another day. It is a privilege. It is an honor. It is a gift. And let's not forget to be a gift to others. Let's show our kids, if you have children, show your kids what aging gracefully looks like. Talk to your friends about this if they're struggling. And again, you can still look beautiful and feel beautiful and do all of the things. Just don't get caught up in the comparison. I hope this episode resonated with you. I hope that there is a glimmer of light that you saw, maybe hearing something new, maybe looking at it from a different lens. I hope that was you today. And thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and know that the best is yet to come. Bye, friends. Thanks for joining me here today. Your presence means the world to me. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider leaving a rating and review, and don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Head to the show notes and let's connect. Rise to Shine Co. is ready to support you in coaching, collaboration, life tips, or even a coffee chat. Until next time, keep shining, my friends.